to move to our next panelist who will be presenting on employee drama and maslaha in workplaces, uncovering the truth and way forward for the Gambia's workforce management. This will be presented by our colleague, our very own brother in academia, Mr. Langsanya. Please go ahead, Mr. Sanya. You may mute and present your material.
Thank you very much, Abdul Kadri. Uh, thank you very much, our esteemed audience, for being with us this afternoon. It's our pleasure to be part of this important webinar. And as the theme of the webinar, which is talking about the rethinking in terms of and the disruption in terms of the way things should be done. So basically, the theme is very apt. That is disruptive thinking and innovation in the Gambia's organization. It has come at a very right time, knowing fully the many disruptions that are happening not only in the Gambia but across the world. And this afternoon, the focus of my presentation is on what we refer to as employee drama and maslaha in workforce, uncovering the truth and way forward for the Gambia. Looking at the topic, it is quite important for us to, of course, break it down in the first place. Looking at what employee drama is quite essential for me. And employee drama, in a way, is basically a situation where in an organization, conflicts emerge among, of course, employees within the organization or within the workplace. As a matter of fact, it is obvious that conflict is part of our livelihoods. But the way conflicts are seen is what we need to be very much aware of. Conflicts in general are not bad. And therefore, it is important for us to look at these conflicts from a positive angle. Because as humans, there is no way that we would live and exist, most especially within a group or an organization, without living a conflicting life at some point in time. So when you look at employee drama, as I said earlier, it is something that do not only exist within organizations in the Gambia, but they happen globally. And what is involved in organizational drama or employee drama is a whole lot of issues, right? And it covers a wide range of issues, including disagreement at personal level among employees within an organization. And not only that, but things like power struggle are also within the organization or the workplace are very common both locally and internationally. And also the fact of purposely deciding on excluding certain individuals as far as the activities and work to be done in the organization are concerned. We know very well that it is very common for there to be gossips within our organizations. Rumors are everywhere. So therefore, when it comes to employee drama, it is something that is inevitable if we work as a team or if we work in an organization. But employee drama, in essence, has a lot or puts a lot of effects or affects organizations in many ways. And as a matter of fact, and this is common knowledge, where you have employee drama, including, as I said earlier, disagreements at personal level, purposely excluding people who are supposed to be part of the workings or activities as far as the organization is concerned. Harassment, jealousy among staff, discrimination, there would definitely, or these would definitely impact the organization in a very negative way. And among some of the impacts such attitudes could have on the organization or effects of employee drama. And as I said earlier, it would definitely affect the level of productivity of employees within the organization. Where, as I said, there are a lot of gossips about each other, there are a lot of disagreements at personal level, we expect employees to be less productive because they would spend most of the quality time on nothing but disagreeing and also gossiping each other. And also, it will lead to what disruption in the operations of the organization. In the same way as in any time where, of course, there is organizational drama, instead of people focusing on work, they will focus on things that would distract them from delivering what their mandates are. And besides that, it also affects the morale of employees in an organization. For example, if somebody feels discriminated, either because of his ethnicity, because of his association with others, because of his political leaning, what would happen to this person? No matter how productive, no matter how good the person is, his morale would be dampened. And besides that, the organizational drama also affects the level of satisfaction and engagement of employees. And this could also, all of this together could lead to, of course, employee turnover. In fact, I'll put it as high employee turnover. Your best and brightest employees could leave your organization because they feel that the organization is always involved in what we call organizational drama. So it is quite essential for us to be mindful of organizational drama if we want to make a change in our organizations, if we want to bring development and advancement, if we want to ensure that our workforce is productive. Besides that, there are a lot of ways or a lot of things that leads to this organizational drama. One of them is workplace politics. And this, I would say, is a major problem in the Gambia. Bringing it home, that is contextualizing this. And when we talk about workforce politics, this is a situation where we have, or we create in our organization, groups with what we call certain interests, right? Not for a productive purpose, but for the purpose of opposing each other. Where you would find in an organization, for example, the managing director or the CEO will have his own group. Locally, we refer to it as having cabodus within the organization. This is one way that we find organizational drama or workplace drama or employee drama being played. And it is killing our organizations. It is no way helping us because you will see what we call conflict among these groups. You will see some of these groups trying to undermine the efforts of other groups. Apart from that, we also have interpersonal conflicts where you have this bad blood between, of course, heads of units or directors, and this, of course, is not in any way healthy. And also organizational drama could emerge from the formation of groups within the organization. So therefore, as organizations, if we want to achieve our shared goals, it is important for us to ensure that we eliminate the formation of groups in our organizations, and also through harassment and discrimination. And this harassment and discrimination comes in many different forms. Sometimes it could be as a result of your background, as a result of sometimes, in fact, productive contributions you make to an organization. You have an issue, you think, of course, the way things are being done, you are that somebody who speaks your mind. As a result, leaders would try to, of course, ostracize you and try to, of course, make sure that they demean you in as much or to be able to, of course, frustrate you. These are definitely not in any way in the interest of our organizations. Because of the interest of time, I'm going to quickly move to how do we address employee drama in our organizations. I've looked at what it is, I've looked at how it operates, and of course the effects it would have. Having known all of that, is important for us to come to understand how we could, of course, address employee drama if it exists in our organizations. One of the most important ways is establishing an open and effective communication mechanism within the organization. And if we are able to do this, where our communications are very transparent, are very unique, and of course they are open, this would help us to a great deal in ensuring that anytime we have organizational conflict, they are addressed and nipped in the bud to avoid them escalating or expanding or spreading over to be like a cankerworm in our organizations. And besides that, another way to, of course, address employee drama is developing and implementing policies and programs that would promote an inclusive workforce. As I said earlier, one of the ways is through what we call discrimination. But if we have policies and programs that, of course, try to ensure that we have an inclusive organization where every individual is treated fairly and equally, we can make a lot of difference addressing employee drama. And also institutionalizing conflict resolution and management. This is quite important. A lot of organizations do not have mechanisms that could help them to be able to resolve conflicts in an amicable way. So therefore, I would advise that if we want to, of course, handle organizational drama or employee drama, one way is we should set up a conflict resolution and management system that is robust, and also that would be able to address our conflict-related problems and have programs that could definitely help in resolving the many different conflicts, as I said earlier, that we may face in our organizations. The other part of my topic would relate to what we call as Maslaha. Maslaha is something that, in my view, is misconstrued in our part of the world. Maslaha in itself is a great thing because what it is talking about is generally from Arabic, is an Arabic word, which is talking about promoting generally public or a common good. And generally it focuses on ensuring that the well-being and welfare of society is recognized and is supported. However, a lot of us in our context seem to, of course, have a misunderstanding of this context. So today, looking at this, I will, of course, try to, of course, look at it in our context as a country and how we need to, of course, work to, of course, see Maslaha from a positive light. Essentially, Maslaha involves the bigger impact and benefit of decisions and actions that we could make at the level of our organizations, right? Considering social, cultural, economic, and moral aspects of our society. This is quite important from the very onset. Maslaha is not anything bad. but it is a matter of what we call compromising in the interest of what? The well-being of individuals and society. And let me make this very clear. That is the way we see it, some of us see it. That is why we are seeing it as being negative. But it is not supposed to be seen simply involves the what? Bigger impact and benefits that decisions and actions we take could have on our society and our organizations and communities in general. And Maslaha
Mr.
is often
Sanyang, if you
used.
could wrap up in 1 minute on the basis of time considerations.
Oh, Maslaha is often used to guide decision making and interpretation of course, our laws, and it encourages individual and institutions to prioritize the welfare of community and act in a way that is justly and equitable. And this is very important for our purpose and our understanding. A lot of times, the context we look at it here is definitely not the reason why Maslaha came into being. Because Maslaha tries to, of course, make sure that whatever is done in a just and equitable manner to ensure that the welfare of society and the social well-being of society is supported, is recognized, and is considered. That is quite important for us to, at this juncture, understand about Maslaha. And Maslaha can be used, of course, to bring what we call social development, right? For example, if we are trying to, of course, bring up a development in our society, Maslaha could be used as a means in our decision making and also in resolving conflicts. There are times when, of course, even within an organization, a conflict could emerge. There are, of course, procedures that, of course, we might want to use the common law, the natural, the laws that are established by the organization. But instead of using that, if we look at the bigger picture, the welfare of the organization, the welfare and well-being of society, trying to, of course, bring the society together, like the Gambia being a country where we are closely united. So making use of maslaha in our society to resolve problems could be a very important way. So at this juncture, since time I've run out of time, what I want to clearly state as I wrap up is that let us see maslaha in in a positive light. And what the problem is, we abuse maslaha. We misunderstand maslaha. And from now on, it is important for us to see maslaha as, of course, a way of making decisions in the general interest of society and our communities, not, of course, the abusive way we usually look at it. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanyang. Profound indeed. The problem is the way we look at maslaha. We abuse maslaha, we misuse maslaha. Indeed, Mr. Sanyang, I find this part indeed very interesting, and I'll come back to the first aspect of your topic. But I just want to add that maslaha is a very, very beautiful and deep rooted concept in the Islamic tradition that is meant to preserve the societal peace and harmony without compromising justice, fairness, competence, among other societal values. For me, where is the point of departure from this beautiful concept? How did we get this convoluted usage of this beautiful concept of maslaha? This could be a discussion that we can continue out of this outside these circles. But I want to commend you for a very well structured presentation on the topic of employee drama. You have very eloquently outlined a manual for me that should be a reference material for all organizations in the country. You have clearly mentioned what the employee drama is, what are the issues that we face, what are the effects of employee drama on organizational success and productivity, and you've told us what typically leads to employee drama in organizations, and you have given us a solution manual. Brilliantly put. Thank you so much for this very, very interesting presentation. So my question to you, we have already heard from three presenters so far. Mr. Sanyang spoke about leadership. uh, Madam Fatusen Gay spoke about how do we achieve sustainability in business. As a leader, you need. This is a topic also within your realm or your reach in order to achieve productivity that we are looking for. And you have just explained something very interesting, which is employee drama. These are the most important resources in any organization to bring about the success that we seek. Therefore, as a nation, as a people, how do we achieve a truly merit-based workforce in the Gambia that finds an effective solution around these issues that you mentioned regarding employee drama? Over to you, Mr. Sanyang.
Abdul Kadri, I think in responding to this particular question, I would put it in the context of this presentation. And that is one way through which, of course, we could establish a merit-based workforce is to ensure that we avoid anything that could create what we call employee drama. And as I said earlier, we should make sure if we want to achieve merit-based workforce in the Gambia, we should make sure that everything that relates to employee drama is discouraged and is brought to a stop. Looking at, for example, the type of conflicts, especially personal, interpersonal conflict, sometimes not out of any genuine reason, but because of some slight differences you have with an individual, you tend to, of course, sideline this individual and build unnecessary animosity. This is something we should avoid. And as a way of avoiding that, when people do things that are wrong, tell them on their face. And of course, that closes the chapter. We should, of course, be ready to, of course, say things as they are if we want to, of course, have a merit-based organization. And we should ensure that justice guides our action. We should ensure we treat each other fairly. It is out of ill treatment sometimes that triggers what we call some of the employee drama events we see. So if we are able to treat each other fairly, justly, I can tell you we would have a workforce that would deliver and would be able to achieve the mandates of the organization. And besides that, let us stop misusing Maslaha. We have said it time and time again. People would think that Maslaha is the problem, but it's the abuse of Maslaha that is the problem. If somebody does wrong, what do? There are laws governing our operations in our organization, our conduct in our organization. So therefore, it is important for us to make sure that those laws are withheld. If there is any case where Maslaha should be applied, it should be applied in principle across the board. But sometimes we have this problem. When you look at the way we, and also we should try to, of course, solve conflicts and ensure that people are rewarded based on their performance. Otherwise, we will continue to have a workforce that is, of course, as we call the Peter principle, promoting people to the level of their incompetence, right? So where if we want to have a merit-based organization, we should make sure that people are promoted, people are rewarded based on their ability, based on their input, not just based on relationship, not just based on patronage. These are some of the things that are definitely giving us challenges in our organizations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanyang. Indeed, brilliant presentation. Mr. Sanyang just mentioned something that is really profound. Treat each other fairly and stop misuse of maslaha. This is absolutely critical in our context. He said maslaha is not the problem. The abuse of maslaha is the problem. Ensure people are rewarded based on performance. Otherwise, they will promote people to the level of their incompetence. Simply profound. Thank you very much, Mr. Sanyang, for this very brilliant presentation, and again for creating this amazing reference material for managers and for actors in our organizations and in our social circles. Uh, we are really grateful. Thank you. And